Ahoy, fellas. This one is going to be core for today. And I'm doing this one early in the morning before I eat anything today, because doing core with a full stomach is never pleasant. Let's go ahead and start with this. Highly recommend, if you want to do core, or if you're going to do core, if you can, find a decent height table that you can sit on comfortably in front of something that you can tuck your feet underneath. That way you don't have to be on the ground and you can do more workouts besides just sit-ups. I'm going to be doing twists. Oh, haven't done those in a while. Lately I've just been doing sit-ups. Where did I put my... Oh, there it is. That's right. But even though I'm probably going to do mostly the same thing every day, I highly recommend, if you can, avoid doing the same thing every day. Variety is the spice of life, after all. Let's see. 15 pounds, 20 in a set, and that's one down. I've always found it's always better to try to go for numbers, I should say reps for core stuff. And using body weight is really good. For the twists, not really. You need a bit of weight, but sit-ups, if you happen to have anything to suspend yourself into the air or hang in the air, leg lifts are also really good. Body weight exercises are completely fine for any kind of core. Oh, it took me a little bit to get into the rhythm of it. But that's okay. That's why I try to start out light, high reps before I go to the heavy weight. Make sure I'm doing it right before I go on. Oh, this was actually really funny yesterday that I had completely slipped my mind just because of how tired I was. When I went out with my parents to hang out with them and my sister, Jessie had asked me what me and my girlfriend Grace had done for Valentine's Day. And I told her, you know, I spoke to Grace about it, and we agreed to celebrate the day after when everything's on sale, uh, which it was, because we're trying to be frugal. And I told Jesse, and I went and bought a nice heart thing of Ferrero Rochers for $10, which I absolutely love Ferrero Rochers. They're up there with Toblerones for me for just the fanciest thing you can buy. But yeah, Grace really liked them. And Jesse then asked, "What else did you get?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "You just got Ferrero Rochers?" And I looked at her boyfriend, or I guess fiance. I looked at Luke, and I just apologized because I felt so bad for him. Because her response to, "Yeah, I got Grace a nice big box of Ferrero Rochers," and her response is, "And what else?" Really? Really? Oh, I felt so bad for Luke at that moment. God, I hate my sister. How do you... It was so funny. It was so funny. The entire situation. But man, how do you say what else? How do you say what else? I don't... It doesn't... How? Tell me how. I don't understand. I actually am incapable of understanding it. Please, someone explain to me. Oh, I'm feeling it. I shouldn't have thrown that pillow over there. I'm not done yet. Trick for doing these is you gotta keep your butt planted in one place. You're not supposed to squirm around. All the twist comes from your core. And I can really feel it in the sides. So maybe I'll also throw in some sit-ups as well to feel it in the front as well. Did I say as well twice in that sentence? In rather rapid succession. That felt, something felt off about that. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So we'll do the next 3 sets of the twists with the 25 pounds. I'll write it up in my book. And because I am already warmed up, I don't think I'll need to do sit-ups with no weight. Since I think I'll be exhausted enough. Yeah, it's been a while since I did these. I can feel it a decent bit in my lower back. That's partially because of yesterday's workout, making that area a bit tired. The other reason is because core is lower back is anterior to core, just like upper back is anterior to chest. So they are inherently connected because they're in the same area. Just like how quads is anterior to glutes. Or another good one, triceps are anterior to biceps. So even though they perform different functions, best example I can describe is biceps pulling and triceps pushing. They're still related, they still help each other out no matter what. So when you work one out, you still work the other out, at least to some degree. As is my understanding. Started putting a disclaimer in the description saying I am not trained in physiology in any way. You should not take my word as gospel, which you shouldn't. The one thing that you should take as gospel is to go and talk to someone who actually knows. Medical professional. Someone who has spent time studying this stuff. I suppose at this point I could also start making the creatine, so. Oh, I'm feeling it now, Mr. Krabs, I tell you what. What if I try it like this? And do half at a time. Maybe that'll help it mix a bit better. Oh man. I need to replace the batteries in my milk frother. I'm still not gonna drink that, even though it is mixed up a good bit. One, because I want to actually finish mixing it, and I don't want to have to chew my drink. But secondly, because like I said at the beginning, I'm doing this early because I don't want anything in my stomach, and I still don't, even though we're past the halfway point. Oh yeah, I feel it. I'm not sure how I felt about my form on that last one. I'll have to go back and re-watch just to make sure everything's up to snuff. So with that being done, next I'm gonna, ooh, it feels like it's something weird in my back. Ooh, I'm sure that'll be fine. Probably just a little bit of a knot. But yeah, next on the list is just sit-ups. I will be doing weighted sit-ups. Yeah. It'll be 25 pounds as well. weighted sit-ups with the 25. Ooh, 10 is good. Ooh. Oh yeah. Oh. I'm sure I don't need to explain in the most detail sit-ups. What I will say is that sometimes I can get disoriented sitting up and keeping my neck locked the entire time. So I like to just pick a point about 45 degrees and just stare at it. Helps keep me from getting disoriented. Don't know if it'll work if you're laying all the way down. It probably will. But yeah, sit-ups are simple enough. Everyone knows them. That is a lot more bearable, breaking it up into 2 glasses instead of 1 scoop in 1. I like that a lot more. Less concentrated that way. Ooh, that's right, I didn't take my fish oil yet. Never be afraid of the fish oil, unless your doctor says otherwise. Because you should always listen to your doctor over some hillbilly on the internet. What an odd piece of, what is this, rubber? Plastic? I'm not sure. It's just stuck on there. Must have been improperly cut during production. Because it's not like I just ripped a crucial piece out. No, everything's still solid, intact, structurally sound, but how odd. Oh, that's 2 other things that I can highly recommend you do. So a big problem that I always used to have when doing sit-ups is that I would feel it in my lower back. Go figure. If you want to mitigate that, you need to tense up your abs, focus on them, and really harden them up. Make sure that you are using these and not just your lower back, because otherwise that's what you'll do unless you actively engage your abs. The other thing is if you imagine working your abs, if you focus on them. I think I mentioned this at one point. Yeah, I think this was the first video documentation I did when I was with Mitchell. Where I said if you visualize the muscle group that you're working, for some reason it improves that muscle group's performance. I don't know if that's true or not, but I hear it often enough, and it doesn't really hurt to try, you know? All right. Yeah, and I just started feeling in my lower back yesterday. It wasn't much yesterday, but it was enough. It was enough. Let's do this. That was weird. That felt different. Where I held the weight felt different. It did something to my back. And that doing something to my back changed how that affected my lower back and my core. That was weird. I don't have an explanation for that. Maybe I just imagined it. But yeah, there we go. Today's workout for core, done. Maybe I should work out in the morning more often. There's an idea.